Thanks a lot for staying with CNN News 18. I'm Shivani Gupta. You're watching the Weekend Explosive Debate. First up, though, there is some breaking news coming in. A passenger train which was going to Raigad from Visakhapatnam has derailed in Vizianagaram district. Several persons are believed to be injured, but there is no confirmation yet about fatalities. Let me go across to my colleague Swastika joining us with more details on Swastika. What more are you picking up?
Well, as of now, what we've been able to ascertain is that this is a case of rear collision, as my colleague Akash Sharma has reported, and this is a case of two trains. In fact, the Vizag-Palasa passenger train colliding into the Raigad Express. This train was on its way to Odisha. We don't know as to how the collision happened in the first place, where the rear collision that we're talking about. But bringing you up to speed with the developments from the ground, we're learning that at least 15 persons have been injured. No confirmation on the fatalities yet. The biggest challenge at this point in time is that it's very dark over there. It's an isolated area, so there is a train which has been dispatched from Vizag to rescue the stranded passengers. NDRF teams, local first responders teams are already on the ground, and the priority right now is to remove the passengers who are on the track and ensure that the derailed trains are moved away from the spot.
Vishwajit Sahu, the PRO of the East Railways is joining us. Let's go across to him. Mr. Sahu, could you give us some details? It looks like it's a collision between two passenger trains.
Yes, this is a rear collision between Visakhapatnam-Palasa passenger and Visakhapatnam-Raigada passenger. Around 1900 hours, that is 7 p.m. This has happened, and as per our information, presently Visakhapatnam-Palasa's two coaches have derailed, and Visakhapatnam-Raigada's one engine, front engine, has derailed. Presently, we are trying to focus on the rescue operations. Visakhapatnam DRM, the general manager from East Coast Railway headquarters, has already left, and the DRM has already reached there. Most of the teams are there. Rescue operations are on.
Sir, could you give us an idea of how many passengers are believed to be on these two trains which face this collision? Not all of the bogies have derailed, but what is the assessment at first look of how many people could be affected?
No, presently, because there are two coaches only, the two coaches, we estimate around 100 people may be affected, but then the injured numbers are reducing gradually because most of the people are being rescued. So, we'll get official numbers on that.
So, sir, this derailment that you're talking about after the rear collision, how serious or how severe was this derailment and the collision? If you could give us a sense on that.
There is, the public should not panic on this. There is this rear, because it's a rear collision, there are only two coaches derailed. So, we are mainly focusing on the rescue operations presently. Later on, we will be focusing on the inquiry part.
Yes, right, sir. So, final question. You said that trains have been moved and one of them has reached to aid in the rescue and relief operations. Any other steps that the government or the railways have taken?
Yes, we coordinate with all the state government authorities also. The DM from Vizianagaram and other people, all agencies are now brought in to help us.
All right. Biswajit Sahu, CPRO, East Coast Railways, thanks a lot for speaking to us, giving us the first information as per the railways. Let me also go across to Akash, my colleague who's joining us with more. Akash, for the benefit of our viewers, please explain what does it mean when it's a rear collision?
So, you see, whenever we talk about rear collision, it means that one train has collided with the other one. And rear collision means that it has hit the first train from the back. And basically, this accident has two trains, two passenger trains, in fact. And this has happened near Alamanda of Andhra Pradesh. Now, CPRO East Coast Railways was just speaking to us, and in fact, he has confirmed the particular accident that has happened around 7 p.m. today. We don't know about the casualties, but yes, more than 10 people, as per the initial information, are injured, and we don't know about the fatal injuries. But yes, this is an unfortunate incident. This train was Visakhapatnam Raigada passenger special train. The first train was Visakhapatnam, Raigada, that is 08504. And around 7 p.m., this accident happened. Now we are learning that relief and rescue operation has started. In fact, a special train is leaving from Visakhapatnam, and we are waiting for more details as far as injuries and casualties are concerned, because only the state authorities will be able to confirm that number.
Yes. When Mr. Biswajit Sahu, the CPRO East Coast Railways, was speaking to us, he did estimate that 2 coaches have derailed. So the numbers of those who could be in those coaches could be around 100. But he believes that the injured number is going to be pretty low or much lower than that.
Yes, because, the initial information is suggesting that 2 coaches have derailed. But, talking about incidents like such, so a number of factors matter in these accidents. And, it is about ICF coaches as well. A lot of, focus was there on the category of coaches. We don't know that which type of coaches were involved in this particular accident. But yes, officers are somewhere saying that injuries, are going to be relatively low in terms of the accidents that have happened in the past, and comparatively low. But yes, the whole focus is on rescue operation as of now, and we are waiting for some confirmed number as far as injuries are concerned.
Absolutely. All right. Akash and Swastika, thanks a lot for bringing us those details. Moving on to the other big story that we've been tracking. Multiple blasts shocked Kerala this morning. This was at a convention center in Kalamassery in Ernakulam. 2 people have been declared dead now and over 50 are injured. A person named Dominic Martin surrendered before the police at the Kodakara police station in Thrissur, claiming responsibility for these blasts. These were at least 2 blasts that took place in a gap of just about 10 seconds. And this took place at a religious convention that was taking place at this convention hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, this accused posted a video on Facebook stating that he was part of the Jehovah's Witnesses for the past 16 years. And he took this decision of doing this blast because he did not agree with the teachings of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and added that they were even teaching children not to sing national anthem, etc. Now, of course, all of this has to be corroborated and investigations are ongoing. This man is in custody. Politics over the case is also raging. BJP slammed Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan over the law and order situation. Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar said that this attack has happened due to appeasement politics by Pinarayi Vijayan.
ഒരു 6 വർഷത്തിന്
It is extremely terrible and a very depressing incident that in a state like Kerala, in India, we will have this type of terror attack and terror incident. But I hold the government of Kerala squarely responsible for this, because just yesterday, 24 hours ago, they permitted the terror organization Hamas, who was just recently responsible for killing so many innocent people.
Kerala Chief Minister has hit back at Rajiv Chandrasekhar. He said that someone sitting in that position, that is of a union minister, should give some honor to the investigating agencies. They are conducting this inquiry. He further added that BJP is targeting one set of people with a specific agenda, and it is part of their communal agenda. Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan said, will not stand with this. Kerala has always stood against all types of communalism. This is a statement that Pinarayi Vijayan, the Kerala Chief Minister, has made after looking at the statement and the tweet of Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Union Minister. My colleague Neetu is also joining us. She's been tracking the latest as far as this investigation is concerned, the bomb blast itself. But Neetu, tell us more of what Pinarayi Vijayan said, responding to the Union Minister.
See, Pinarayi Vijayan, while meeting the media, has literally lashed out at the union minister. He did not take the union minister's name, but he went on to say one union minister has said certain things, and he quoted the tweet. He read it out, and he said that this is basically a communal agenda. I would like to ask, he's a union minister, based on what information did he make such a statement? Because the investigating agencies are investigating into it, and without any information, what is the basis of the information for making such a statement? He's a minister sitting in a responsible position, shouldn't have done things for the communal agenda. This was part of the communal agenda. So this is what the Chief Minister has said while responding to this. He spoke about it and he said Kerala has always stood against all type of communalism. This time also it will be the same, and whoever is behind this, they will be brought before the law. Strict action will be taken against them. Now we are right outside the Kalamassery AR camp here, where the accused, the person Martin, is right now. He has been questioned by a team led by the ADGP. The DGP of the state, Sheikh Darvesh Sahib, has left from here. Even the ADGP has left from here. Now the NIA team is here. They have also questioned. NIA IG Vijay Sakre was also here, and they have questioned the accused, is what we are understanding. Now Martin had actually put out a Facebook post, and he went on to say that he is taking responsibility for it. He did this bomb blast, and he was part of the Jehoda witnesses, and he wanted, he said that the teachings that they were giving to the children, and he felt these are anti-national activities, and that is why he decided to take this step. So this is what he said in his Facebook post, and he said there that he will go and surrender before the police. He went and surrendered before a police, but not in Ernakulam district, but he went to the nearby district in Thrissur and surrendered in a police station. Later he was brought back here, and he has been questioning. Police sources say that they are convinced that this is the accused, because they have CCTV visuals and certain videos also, but they are still ascertaining the facts, is what we are understanding, because officially so far they have not yet, the police have not yet given a confirmation on whether this is indeed the accused, but sources confirm to us that this is what they have CCTV visuals, and there are certain videos also ascertaining to this. So this police sources confirming that this is indeed the accused in the blast case.
All right. Neetu, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining us with those details. Let's also open this up to our experts joining us. Ashok Sajjanhar is former Indian diplomat with us. Ravinder Sachdev, I beg your pardon, is strategic affairs expert. Major General A.K. Sivach, defense analyst, is also joining us. Major General, let me begin with you. How odd do you find this entire situation where this man took law into his own hands and actually conducted a twin blast, which has already claimed 2 lives, and some are seriously injured, then goes on Facebook to confess allegedly the crime and then surrenders himself? Not often that we do something, we see something like this play out.
Absolutely. You know, it looks to be very strange, this Donwick Martin, that he's involved in a twin blast, and from where did he procure the explosive? How did he fabricate it, and how did he plant it? It looks very strange, you know, that if you see a demeanor of this individual, it doesn't seem that he's the one who can plant it. But nonetheless, since he has confessed that he has done it, he needs to be interrogated. All said and done, is it that easy to have the explosive and then basically make an ID and then put a blast in which 2 people have died and 40 have injured? So there are too many things which are there. There are a lot of gaps, and one has to investigate in detail. You see, of late, the NIA has been very proactive, and in the southern portion of India, you don't find any this sort of blast taking place, because they are preempting before someone can do such thing that he's been arrested. And that's the intelligence of NIA, and also the state government are cooperating. But in this case, it looks like that this individual, whatever may be the reason, but how easily has he planted this explosive at the ID and then blasted, and then automatically no clue has been left, and then he himself is claiming that he has done it. So investigation need to be done, but it's very strange. To me, it looks like it's a very strange case that, you know, the other theory which was there, possibly the Hamas leader, which was given a space, he may be the reason, but that possibly is not there. We have to investigate this individual. To me, it looks like that there may be some gap. It is not that easy as he trying to bring it out that he did not like their teaching, and their teaching were anti-national, and that's why he has put this blast, and then he can basically blast it, and he can fabricate this idea. No one came to know. It looks too good to believe. I suppose interrogation need to be done in thoroughly and to find out what exactly was his aim and who all are involved with it. He can't be alone by himself.
No, that was the next question that I was going to ask. Ravinder Sachdev, it seems unlikely that this is, while lone wolf attacks do take place, but there's a certain level of radicalization that goes on behind such cases. There is a certain level of training that is given when it comes to improvising an IED device. You know, in this case, the big question is, was he acting alone? And whether the motivations and the story that he has told, even the police is confirming that yes, he has been caught on CCTV cameras, perhaps planting those devices, you know, it still seems a little bit odd that something like this has happened. Not only the reasons for which he's saying that while I was part of Jehovah's Witnesses, the community, I didn't like what they were doing, so you decide to blast a convention where Jehovah's Witnesses are congregating. It just seems a little bit odd.
No, thank you so much. A pleasure and honor to be with you and Ambassador Sajjanar and General Sivaj. Absolutely, yes. You know, but there are a couple of things. Firstly, when the news came in the morning, the knee-jerk reaction in my own mind, I think I was on some other channel, was that, okay, it has something to do with this whole Israel, Gaza, global, etc. affairs, and maybe something on the ground in India. That was one. But then as the day progressed and then this guy surrendered, and very fishy to say, as General Sivaj says, but you know, I was reminded of something. The assassination of Shinzo Abe. Shinzo Abe was killed by a member of the Moonies, the Unification Church, who was very unhappy that his mother had been giving away monies to the Unification Church. And he thought or blamed that Shinzo Abe was kind of a brand champion for that church and was also politically taking the support and all. So he went it. So in this case, if what this gentleman says is true, Dominic, then it brings to my mind parallels of Shinzo Abe assassination, right? That from within the congregation, there can be some people who can be very angry and upset at the way the congregation or the leaders or the cult, it could be a cult also, right, is proceeding ahead, and thereby take out their vengeance or whatever they think. So that's one parallel which comes to my mind if this story about what this guy is saying is correct. The other thing which it kind of, I take away from this as a takeaway is that perhaps a quick knee-jerk reaction, given, you know, there can be so many nuances to anything in this world, is it's better for us to wait a little bit and then see as whatever developments come. So these are a couple of takeaways to my mind which are there. So
no, absolutely, you're right about one thing. You know, sometimes things may look a certain way, but we need to be a little bit careful before we jump to any conclusions. But that has happened in previous cases as well. You know, certain communities have been almost accused of doing something even well before the investigation has begun. It continues to happen in a lot of cases, and that is something to be careful about. That is something to be wary of. Let me bring in Ashok Sajjanhar as well. You know, this may or may not have some international angle, Ashok Sajjanhar, and you know, the whole aspect of some people being upset with what's happening in Israel-Gaza conflict, some people being upset, let's say, with what Israel is doing, and certainly a lot of those demonstrations have taken place in the state of Kerala. There has even been that incident confirmed where a former Hamas head was actually invited to a gathering with very problematic, sloganing or, headers given to his conversation. And then, you know, you've got people like that coming in and talking to a large community and talking about, resistance and jihad and whatnot. So not sure if there is any connection. Certainly at prima facie information doesn't look like there's a connection. But I think even if we go by what this gentleman, Dominic Martin, is saying, there's the big reason to be careful about both religious sentiments, but also radicalization on the basis of religion.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shivani. Always a pleasure to be with you, and thank you for having me on your program. You are very right when you say that, you know, one has to be very careful about radicalization, because I would imagine that radicalization has today emerged as the biggest threat to peace and security in the world. And of course, as far as false narratives are concerned, that has also become a big threat because, what we are seeing around the world, there are so many conflicts that are taking place. We first have the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and around that, there was so much of fake news that was being peddled around. And, everyone has heard that when there is a conflict going on, when there is a war going on, then the first casualty in this is the truth. And this is what we find. And now we have also in the Israel-Hamas conflict, Gaza conflict. And just to give you an example from that, just a few days after 7th October, when we had this massive attack, at that time it was thought to be very massive, on a hospital when about 500 patients who were there were supposed to have got killed over that. And the whole world sort of, just embraced that narrative that, yes, number one, it is Israel that has done it. Number two, that the numbers are huge, it is 500 plus. Now, when there is more evidence that started coming in that obviously it could not have been Israel, even, some of the major world leaders, they accepted that it was, possibly it was a misfire by the Islamic Jihad. And also, as far as the numbers are concerned, from 500, they came down to just a few dozen, meaning even a single casualty in such cases is to be shunned, to be frowned at. But
Yes.
the point I'm making is that there are all these narratives, misguided narratives. So in this case also, I think we should, rather than speculate, because, when speculation takes place on a very respected channel like yours, then anyone can sort of, pick it up and say that, there are these people who are discussing, who are speaking about it. So there must be some truth, some, factual accuracy to that. I think we really need to, because there are so many question marks, as you have put it yourself, as the other two panelists have also mentioned, that it doesn't square up. If he was unhappy with what the Jehovah's Witnesses were doing, did he really have to go to the extent of putting in these IEDs?
Yes.
And, it cannot be at the spur of the moment also, because, I heard somewhere it said that, he'd been preparing for it for the last 1 year. So it is not an off-the-cuff reaction, just, one morning he got up and he felt that, he had to do something to redeem himself or whatever.
Right.
So definitely it is not that, and we really need to go deep into it. Maybe in as far as his own, mental stability is concerned, we need to get that also investigated. We need to conduct as to where he is placed. The pictures that you showed, Shivani, Dominic Martin, he doesn't look to be that sort of a person that, who would be sort of, radicalized, who would be so scheming, who would be going around and sort of, collecting all this information and all this material. So I would really like to wait and see. NIA is on the job.
Yes.
The local police is on the job. So let them do their job. Let them come out with some findings, and then we can sort of, have our,
There are some larger questions, of course. One, how did this man pass under the radar if he was so radicalized to take law into his hands and was even procuring material that can be improvised? Now, some of this material can be conspicuous, really. But Mr. Sivach, I have about 30 seconds left. You wanted to make a point very quickly.
Yeah, Shivani, the biggest point is that this person is claiming that he has the one who has involved in this ID blast. But it's too good to believe. From where did he procure this explosive, and how did he initiate it, how he fabricated? It doesn't seem to be that all by himself he can do it. There seems to be someone else involved. Is he mentally sick, or how he has come himself and then owning up? The whole story looks that there is some gap in this. And this will only be found out by NIA once the proper investigation is carried out as to how this incident had taken place, from where had he procured explosive, who all were involved with him, was he really involved or not, or it was something else. So this investigation will be able to throw light as to what is the sequence of action, and also basically the cameras which were there. That will able to give out when did he come, how did he fabricate. But to me, it looks like that if he had done it, This is another cause of concern, that it is so easy to procure explosive by any common man, and he can fabricate a ID and then he can blast it.
Yeah.
That is again
That is
another
certainly
threat.
a matter
And that
of.
also gives us alarm that we have to be careful. I think we have to tighten our system, that there is some gap somewhere, that is so easy for any common man, citizen to procure explosive and then fabricate ID and then initiate it, and in which you find two people are killed and 40 are injured, out of them 2, 3 are critical also. So therefore it throws a lot of light and it put a lot of question mark to us. Are we on the correct line? The NIA has to go deep inside that. The state police has to also see where all the mistakes have been committed. And this is the lesson to be learned. And we have to go. See, of late, I can tell you, Shivani, the NIA has been very proactive. Our agencies are coordinating, cooperating. There is a horizontal and a vertical basically integration of intelligence. And the intelligence is part at the earliest. And majority of the time, they are preemptive action. And in this incident, nothing could be found out, and out of blue, he comes around say
Yes.
that he is the one who has done it. It looks very strange, and if it is a fact, then there are gaps in our
Absolutely.
system.
In both
We need
cases,
to
there are
take
serious
action.
question marks for us. Whether we can take the testimony of this man at first face value or not is a matter that will be decided in investigation. The NIA is certainly involved because it does seem like a terror angle that is involved here. Even if this man has confessed what his reasons were, certainly reasons are religions and religious hatred. And in any case, they will have to look into the antecedents of this person as well and how he managed to pull this off. I do thank all of our guests for joining us, but stay with us. We're slipping into a very short break. On the other side, we'll keep getting you the day's biggest stories.